long time to see some justice in this city, in this country, in this world.
Right.
And today we have the chance in less than 10 minutes to see that.
We want justice in this conviction, but we want to make sure that we're going to be safe in the future. We want systemic change. When I say their name, you say which one? Say their name!
Which one?
Say their name!
Which one?
Say their name!
Which one?
And in the midst of this trial, there's been Dalal Eid. There has been Dante Wright. There have been numerous names that I've had to learn from across this nation. All while the police have been under the spotlight. They don't care.
Dan Chauvin's been found guilty! Everybody fist up, everybody! Say his name!
We did it. All of this, we did it.
And we fake! And we fake! All right. Somebody gonna tell you that protests don't work, but you can see today they're a daggum lie. The only reason that Derek Chauvin is on trial, about to go to jail, is because we took to the streets. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different.
What we doing is working. We gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on fighting. They want us to stop. Fuck they rubber bullets. Fuck they tear gas. Fuck all that shit y'all do to us. Y'all cannot stop the people.
They've been telling us that we're less than human for a long time. And right now, they're finally telling the truth. At least they're doing it right now, and they're gonna keep doing it as long as we're out here. They're gonna keep doing it as long as we're out here. They're gonna keep doing it as long as you're out here. So know that you being out here is changing what's going on in there.
This systematic bullshit, the pressure that they put on us, we as beautiful, black, brown, and Oriental nationality, all kinds of mixes together, because we are beautiful people. We are beautiful.
So that we ain't far separated from the past. We are actually in post-slavery history right now. They just had they will pull a sundown town tonight. They might find a curfew tonight, but what are we gonna say to that curfew? Fuck your curfew! Fuck your curfew! Fuck your curfew! Fuck your curfew! I don't care what time the mayor got to get up in the morning for his morning jog, y'all. He gonna have to work for his money. Mayor Fry's sitting down in that palatial brownstone. Nah, man, you don't get to run a campaign on affordable housing and then look at the highest houseless population in the history of this city. You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. Elected officials in the past may have got to do that, but that stops now. That stops now. And I'm looking at some of the folks in this audience right now. I'm looking at some of y'all, and I'm saying justice for you. 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 I'm saying justice for you and you, because we know at any point in time it can be any one of us. Because no more means no more. I don't care what the skin color is of the person that got shot. This police brutality stops now. It stops the fuck now. And this racial disparity, because it does matter, is gonna stop as well. This dehumanization and criminalization of black men stops now. I'll say it, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it again. These Democrats may pride themselves that Minnesota doesn't have the death penalty, but they seem sure A-OK with public executions in Minnesota. I call bullshit. And Tim Walz is gonna know it. If we gotta keep pulling up to folks' houses, then that's what we gotta do. If we gotta pull up to Pete Orpit's house, who's handling the case for Dante Wright, then that's what we gotta do. And when folks did show up to Pete Orpit's house, you saw white folks coming out of their houses with their fists up. Because the culture is changing. The accountability is coming. When I say hold on, change gonna come, I mean hold on, change is here.
And that's right, we did. We are here making history. And I say we are here because we have all been here the past fucking year. And what other city in the country has been on the ground, boots on the ground every single day for a year?
All this work is paying off right now and will continue to pay off. We will get what we want because we are here.
we got that are trying to create systemic change, they're supposed to be made out of paper, not human bodies. You need to care before we die. Let me repeat that for everyone in the back. You need to care before we die.
If the police chief, if medical examiners, if everyone can get on that stand and say that was murder, Derek Chauvin had no reason to do all of that. Everyone wants to talk about good and bad apples. Well, if that was murder, why didn't them other cops stop it? If that was murder, why didn't them good apples stop the shit? So this, moving forward, when we got them other three on trial, you heard everyone say that was murder. So you are now accessory to murder. And we gonna stay in these streets until George Floyd gets all of the justice that he deserves. We're gonna stay in these streets until Dante Wright gets all of the justice that he deserves. We're gonna stay in these streets until Cordell Handy, Justin Tigan, Kobe Heisler, Hardell Sherrill, all of these names, until they all get the justice that they deserve, and until all of these systems are uprooted and recreated with my best interests in mind, with black lives in mind, brown lives in mind, indigenous lives in mind, trans lives in mind, until I'm not gonna pledge allegiance to no shit that was written by anyone who was friends with a slave master.
And it benefits the systems that keep our lives under oppression for us to be infighting. It benefits them to be divided. Y'all know who Fred Hampton is, right? Fred Hampton knew, he knew that when the people stand together across color lines, they cannot defeat us. There are too many. So what I want every single person here to do is to get organized. Join an organization. Start learning the names of the people standing next to you. Start knowing their faces. Start knowing who the organizers that actually have real shit to say are. Start separating the people that are opportunists here. Separate the people that are coming to our city trying to tell us how to organize. Start listening to what people are actually telling you. Start actually reading the legislation that's being put out. Start reading the actual words, not how it makes you feel, and not just who's putting it out there. That's right. Read the content and get behind something real, because we cannot let this happen again. That's right. The only reason, once again, that we got this conviction is because we showed up. That's right. And if we don't keep showing up, and if we don't change laws, and we don't attack this system from every single fucking angle we can, we will be here again.
We put up a hell of a fight to get this conviction. So we can give ourselves a hand for that. Give yourselves a hand, those who are arrested and still facing charges. We worked our tails off for this, because we know without us, this would have been swept under the street. So we have to remember Hennepin County Prosecutor Mike Freeman, who said after watching the video of George Floyd's murder, "I do not see a chargeable offense." Remember that. When all the cameras are gone and the flashes fade, we are still here left with the mess of Minneapolis and St. Paul, of the Twin Cities metro area, and our legislation. We are still left with Mike Freeman as Hennepin County Prosecutor. We still want the officers who killed Dalal to be charged, just like Derek Chauvin. So we need to make sure we keep Dalal's name alive, and we continue to support the call for justice for him and for his family, who was served with a no-knock warrant at 2 a.m. and terrorized by the police. So we have work that we still have to do. So we have to remember, for all of you who are going back to your respective cities and places for your national media accounts, remember, the call is to drop the charges. That's right. We were justified in being in the streets. We were justified in being on the freeways. We were justified in lifting our voices. We were justified in shutting shit down. Drop the charges! Drop the charges! Drop the charges!
The Black Panther Party and the idea of community control of the police was so damn dangerous that they killed Fred Hampton and Mark Clark and so many revolutionaries from the Black Panther Party because they know how dangerous community control of the police is. We need to know what we're fighting for. And so that's why if you haven't signed that petition for community control of the police, you need to find somebody with a clipboard and you need to get it signed today. Because we're not going to let these pigs in these buildings have any more control over our lives today. That shit ends today. So we're going to keep it moving and we're going to keep on marching and we're going to honor the victories of our ancestors and George Floyd and know that this fight doesn't just end with George Floyd. It starts before George Floyd with people like Jamar and Philando and Breonna Taylor and so many other people, and we're going to keep on moving it forward. Yes, say her name, Breonna Taylor. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name.
Did we get justice? Is justice over? Are we gonna go home and say, pat ourselves on the back and say, good job? We got 3 more to put in jail. We got 3 more. We got policies. We got policies that we are gonna put into place that we are fighting for right now. We got policies at the state legislature, and guess what? Warren Limmer, can I get a boo? Ain't hear none of it. We got police policies we're trying to pass from ending qualified immunity, ending the statutory limitations on reporting civil settlements for police misconduct. We are trying to go right and be right and stand with the families that have lost their loved ones due to police violence. And yet, Warren Limmer, it's time for you to listen to the people. This week, we're going to the Post Board. Do you know what the Post Board is? It's a state licensing body for police officers. The Post Board, it's time to revoke licenses for police misconduct. It's time to protect protesters. It's time to tell the National Guard and Governor Walz, go home.
Mike Freeman told us that he did not see anything there. He told us that he did not have enough to charge Derek Chauvin. And to Mike Freeman we say, guilty, guilty, guilty. And now, we just got partial justice, y'all. That's right. We just got a little bit of justice, y'all. We still want 3 more officers. Now everyone put your 3 fingers in the air and say 3 more. 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 Now add your pinky to it. Because we want Kimberly Potter in there as well. So everyone say 4 more. 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 We cannot let up. This is the moment for all of us to continue to fight for all 470 plus lives that were lost of police brutality since 2000 and beyond.
I want you to know that the entire country was a little bit suffocated today. Yes. The entire world was a little suffocated. There's a lot of people in downtown Minneapolis, uptown and southtown and Ridgedale and Whatdale and Mall of America. There are a lot of people today suffocated a little bit. They were anxious. They were worried about injustice for the first time. They were worried about the potential that Chauvin would walk free. But personally for me, I was not worried. I was not worried because What we saw on 38th in Chicago cannot be unseen.
Yes.
George Floyd's killing will haunt us for the rest of our lives. No one should die in that manner. No one should die demanding to breathe. No one should die begging to breathe. No one should die calling out to their mother. Today, many of us were glued to that TV all over the world, hoping to hear that word, guilty, guilty, and guilty. And I want to let you know that I'm really proud of 12 members of our community who are inside that building today. 12 members of our community who are inside that building today. 12 members of our community who saw the humanity of George Floyd, who saw the evil in Derek Chauvin. 12 people who came to the conclusion that the world came to, that everybody came to, that guilty was Derek Chauvin, that he was guilty as charged. We are all here. This is our community. This is our streets. That building is our taxpayer dollars. The police department are doing things because it's our taxpayer dollars. This is our government. It is us who were on trial this week, but we prevailed. And we sent a signal, a small message, not just to us here in Minnesota, but to the rest of this country, that police officers are not above the law. 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 And so today I want you to make a commitment, not to me. Make a commitment to George Floyd's family. Make a commitment to Dante Wright's family. Make a commitment to all of the families who are grieving right now and this moment. While they celebrate, they also grieve because none of them, many of them, did not get this sweet moment. Many of them did not get the justice that we saw that is possible in this city. But I'm telling you, today and the last days, we are only moving forward. We are only moving forward. And no matter where it is, when it is, when an officer gets involved in killing one of us, we will show up. We will show up. We will show up.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to fight for our freedom.
It is our duty to win.
It